try. Did I get it? Oh. Baler's hooked up. Okay, so here's the plan. You want to fill it in real quick? Just a reminder, because I don't know when the last time we talked was. Gonna go bring this around to the shop. Need to just go through it real quick. Baler's not very old, only a few. I need to wash my windows too. Baler's not all that old. We've had it maybe 4 years now, I think. 3 of those 4 to 5 years we've had it have been a drought. All right, y'all, she's greased. She's good, she's ready to go. I want to show you something. Check it out. To oil the chains, use a weed sprayer and my used motor oil from my semi. Now, before you're like, whoa, used motor oil, let me tell you. I went up once and I harvested on a huge farm. It was like almost 20,000 acres. And they had machines everywhere and full-time mechanics and all this jazz. And rather than using cans and cans of chain lube, they used motor oil. Now they're oiled. They still got a little rust, but we'll get on them every day. They'll get oiled every day. Okay, so next up on the flow is get the rake ready. This won't take very long. This is a pretty simple machine. It needs a few things. Here's a low tire we see. I think that's about it. Other than that, it'll just be greasing it up. It spreads open like this, and it pulls hay from this side and from this side, and it flips it over into the middle to make one big, giant, beautiful windrow. And that saves me and the baler from having to make so many passes. Balers are expensive, and the more that they're running, the quicker they wear out. So this machine, a cheap machine, is made to pull the windrows together, so you only have to make half as many passes. And also, when you're making a bale, you want the biggest windrow possible. The bigger the windrow, the tighter and nicer the bale will be. There's a grease point at each joint where the wings fold in and out. A couple grease points where you pin them. These wheels used to have, each one of these used to have a grease zerk, but they made them sealed bearings. Grease the swivels. Put just a little oil to help these slide first little while till that metal gets shined up again for the year. These H&S rakes are notorious, and of course this has already happened to ours, for breaking in half. This main shaft, this rake's not horribly old, and it runs over about 600-700 acres a year, but they're just known for every H&S rake we've ever owned has busted in half. It looks like bird poop. No, it actually is. I'm teasing because a lot of people say about welds, that looks like a bird took a dump on there for those welds. Anyway, the welds aren't that bad. This is some of my seasonal welding. Had to be pretty beefy. I think I ran like 3 beads across here because this whole entire main channel had snapped in half. So we plated it, and painted it, keep it from rusting. And oh yeah, you can see under there where that's how bad the break was. So I plated the 3 sides, and we've run it for a couple years of the drought with it like that. But they have a tough life. You'll see when you see them. They just kind of rattle around out there in the field. So Lash wants to get going on the rake. So she's wanting to learn. She learned the mowing yesterday, so why not teach her a little bit about the rake? First bale of the year, she's out on the ground, boys and girls. Hey, but get there to the bonnet and bales on the ground now. Pretty excited. The first one of many. Creating some wintertime security. We got Weed Man Weed over there in the rake with Cousin Van, sometimes known as Van Goose on the loose. I got Lassie the Rabbit here with me, learning some of the ways of the baling. And hopefully we can stay out of that pond up there, Lassie. There she, I'd never seen such a pretty sight, y'all. Oh, baby, looky. Y'all, we're just rolling on. This is great. We got Weed Man Too Cool Fred. Too cool. I call you Too Cool Fred because your air conditioner in your tractor is so much better than ours. Doesn't it feel way better in here, Lash?
Yeah.
So Fred is my main man on the rake. Yeah. He's just getting back rolling with it. He's gonna actually teach Lash some of the stuff he knows. All right, well, you two, good luck. Yeah, Fred, just teach her as you would yourself, or as I would teach you, and sound good? Yeah. Don't yawn, that's contagious. I have to check, this field's a little weird. So this corner right here, from where the tractor is, over to the trees, up the line, to the road, and here, just this little corner is an extremely wet, thick little spot, always has been. What I'm running into here is that it's starting to get thick enough that this is too wet to bale. Show an example. So like this right here, I mean, you can tell just looking at it, that is not cured, right? That's not the underneath of it, but the top of it, totally cured, right? And the reason for that is because right after we cut this, we got like an inch of rain, like the day, might have been was it the morning after we cut it? I think it was. We'll let the kids finish raking here, and I'll let this sit overnight till tomorrow when I come back out to resume baling. Came in, had a little din. Now it's time to go back out. I don't think that there's a whole lot more we can bale tonight, but I know that I can rake. There's something I gotta show you that you're gonna see throughout this video. At first you're like, interesting. An e-bike, they call them. An e-bike, a Hemiway e-bike. So I think that things that are electric are cool just because it's kind of like fun. Like, oh, that's cool. I mean, who in the trades and in the man world, who doesn't like the new power of a lot of these new brushless motors they put in your cordless tools and whatnot? Things like this I find really interesting. When they email me about it, I'm like, we do stuff like feed corn to cows and, drive skid steers and chase cows. I guess I'm willing to, if you want to send it over, I'm willing to try it out and kind of see how this fits into my life. But as I've been using it the last couple of days, I'm finding that it's carving its own sweet little niche into my life, especially with haying season going on. Normally I'd fire up the pickup, and drive it out to the fields and back and forth and whatever. But this thing, because it's got these huge Hagen tires on it. I mean, look at these things. Oh, they're like beefcakes. They're about as wide as a dirt bike tire. So I've been like driving it out in the pastures and like over the craziness of the ranch. It's kind of fun and I kind of like it. And it's allowing me to just leave my pickup. I'm just leaving my pickup parked and using this thing. Something like this might wiggle its way into an ag person's life if it's practicable. Like, does this thing save me some wear and tear? I mean, every time I go fill up my pickup, $90 with gas, and this time of year, putting back and forth and in and out and banging around, you use it up pretty fast. And this little electric baby will pay for itself. I don't know. I'm trying it out for you guys so that if it's something you see me doing and think, you know what? I could maybe find that handy. And I'm going to do some stuff with it. I got to run some salt and mineral out to the cows a little later. We might do that tomorrow. They boast that this little baby can hold like 400 pounds total. Them are salt bags right there. And we're going to find out. Can this thing pack 3 bags of salt on the back? That's something where it's like, hey, sweet, I'm going to just go for a little bike ride instead of firing up the pickup. I know. Maybe that's a stretch, but I'm trying to figure out a way that this thing can bring fun and convenience to my life. Look at them beautiful white legs. Up, out, and away we go. This thing's kind of fun. It's got 2 deals. You can either pedal it, and it will assist you as you pedal. It senses, oh, this guy's pedaling. He's struggling. Let's give him a little boost. Or twist of the throttle, and it'll just pick up. You can quit pedaling if you're tired, if you're a trucker like me, and you can just mosey on your way. They say like 70 or 80 mile range. I wouldn't expect to get anything near that out here doing what we're doing and driving where we are. But I bet if you pedaled a lot and didn't make it do all the work, you might get there. Did you ever think you'd see a rancher in shorts, wearing boots, driving a Hemingway Zebra on his way out to check hay? And now all those of you that notice that sometimes I forget to wear my seatbelt, you can talk about me not wearing a helmet while I drive this bicycle one-handed, filming with my iPhone on a rough ranch gravel road. You know, and if for nothing else, the bike content is going to show you some beautiful evening Montana. It's cool. It's just a 7-speed bike. So if the battery does die on you, or some such thing, you're not just up a creek. Some people have wondered on these, are like, so does it like generate electricity while you're pedaling? No, it does not. And there's a sandhill crane. It just goes right along. So I'm gonna bump it up here a little bit. It runs out about, oh, this is maybe a little more sketchy, one-handed. Now on the way out to the hayfields, I try to pedal and not use as much power, because on the way back, I don't do any pedaling. Cannot wait. One, we're gonna be driving this thing back home tonight in the dark. We'll see what that's like. And two, see if it'll hold them salt bags on the back. You know, I'm a trucker, so I gotta like load this thing up. And if you're wondering, 20 miles an hour is fast enough that you do get a lot of bugs in the mouth. I would advise you to breathe through your nose when you're going fast. I'm driving through a hayfield. I gotta get over here to the other side to check this next field. And these big old tires just kind of gobble everything up out here. Back where I grew up, all we drove all summer long farming was dirt bikes. The farmers all drove them around so they could buzz in and out of their fields and around, and they were irrigating and moving dams and things like that. Isn't this beautiful? Not me, scenery. I feel a little bit like I'm back on my bike. You know, I'd drive like a Honda 185 out there irrigating. So this shelter belt catches a lot of snow and holds up a lot of snow right along here. So I'm gonna stop here, I think. It's probably half a mile, 3/4 of a mile. Starts down here and it runs its course all the way up to the top of the hill. Like the first 50, 60 yards out from this do really well. Using, you know, foliage basically in the form of these carragana bushes to catch moisture. And these work really well. These were established, I think, like back in the 40s, 50s, way back when. They're a lot of work to develop, but you know, 30, 40 years later down the line, now I'm like, man, I wish there was like 3 of these across the, you know, if there was 3 more of these out across the way. Sun's peeking through, going down. You look out, you got some round bales made out there. Everything just smells. If you guys could just smell the smell of hay that's half cured. All right, enough of that. Let me check this hay. Oh yeah, it will definitely bale tomorrow. In fact, now's a really great time to rake it. And the force of pulling these over and rolling them into one giant windrow for the baler. If the hay's real dry, it'll knock a lot of these leaves, which in hay, the leaf, that's where all the magic is. And so if you lose some of these leaves in the process, it's not great, right? By raking out here in the evening, when it's starting to get kind of thick, the air is just getting thick and wet, those leaves will hang on to the stem. You know, this probably won't be ready to bale till about noon tomorrow. I just can't get over this light. Oh, pretty blessed to be where we're at. Skippity bobbity bob, bobbity bobbity skippity bob, bobbity bobbity bob, bobbity bomb 5, 10, bobbity bomb 15, 20, where to the bit 20, 20, bobbity bob. It's 3 a.m. It's time to shut her down, go get a snooze. Got a lot of hay raked up. Next step is to see how this bike works in the dark. Okay. Shut the lights off. Okay, we got her fired up. Fired up. Oh, hey, look. There's our light. We got a sweet tail light. Oh, baby. We are going to be seen by all the coyotes and the porcupines. Just made her back in. Only had a couple creatures run out across the front of the road. No chupacabras or nothing yet. All right, y'all, it is morning time. Come here, bird. Come on, let's go. I got a lot done last night. Now that it's daylight, I'm like, nice. We're gonna put a little air in these tires. They are made to hold a huge range of air, as low as 5 PSI up to 30 PSI. Kenda tires, which are good tires. I think right now it's set up where it's riding pretty soft, pretty squishy. I have some plans for this thing. What's up? Bird, what do you think? See right here, minimum 5, maximum 30 PSI. I've got 20 in them right now, and they feel solid. I can't shake the bird, y'all. Can't shake the bird. Stay home. Go home. On back. I can't get the bird to stay home. Go back. Go home. This is what you've chosen as our home. Go on. Go. Fly away. No, not post to post. Fly home. Go on. Oh, you're worse than a dog. So it's looking like it's going to turn into one of those days. It's a little bit of a frustration. We've had a cold front move in. I came up here last night. This is one of the fields I raked in the night, and I'm out here checking it. I knew it was going to be borderline dry enough to bale this morning, but I was sure that, sun come out, dew would burn off, bale the thinner stuff first, and by the time I got to the thick stand, we'd be all right. So I'm up on top of the hill up here where it's thinner, and sure enough, this thin stuff, it's green and beautiful and pure. I mean, it's like just perfect. Just enough dew to hold it all together while I bale it still this morning because of the cloud cover. But it's definitely cured in the stem. You want your stems to be cured is the trick. If there's a little dew in the leaves and the stem is cured, that's totally fine. If the stem isn't cured, then that's the moisture that'll cause the bale to rot. Or the top half of this field, I'm going to be able to go. Looking at the forecast, it's just not going to clear off. I always hate having raked hay sitting here exposed because you can get a windstorm that'll whip up and it'll just pick these windrows up and throw them. There's another bale. Hold up. So we continue to dance around here on the fields. I did get this ridge up here baled off. It is done. This would be a piece where Freddie and I shot some drone footage last haying season you might recognize. All right, Ewans. Any of you guys still use that term Ewans, referring to you all? It's like there's like you people, you guys, y'all, and then Ewans. Ewans is like another step. It's like the next drop when referring to plural people. So here's what I've got. Check this again here. This is just beautifully cured. Hear that? Just crisp, nice, cured. That's right here. I move over right here and dig down under just this one spot and pull this out. This is not cured. It is not cured. I think our chance for showers today has already passed by us. So I'm gonna just leave this out. No reason not to just let it dry for another day. But now I'm gonna cut back to where we were last time. But man, look at that. Scrumpsh. Them cows, oh baby. They're gonna be happy little campies. Happy little campies. Look at the old girl, all picturesque. All right, y'all, well, the good news is I just finished what I could. And what's left here that's raked up is there's just a couple wet plugs in there still. We may end up with the 4th of July off, hang out with the fam here, and then hit it on Wednesday. So anyway, for now, we're gonna park the tractor and jump back on the bike and see if we can get in without getting too wet. We'll see what this shower does. If it don't do much, I'll come back out in a couple hours and I bet we'll be okay. If it just stays, it's just a sprinkle right now. See over there, it's cutting south. Again, I'll never complain about the rain again. Little hay quality, whatever. It'll be fine. We'll just see. Maybe it'll give us an opportunity to go take some salt and mineral out to the cows on the bike. Also, a nice, cool, calming little shower keeps the oats from stressing out. So always look for the upside, you guys. Always look for the upside. Well, it's cold, cool, and rainy today. It is the 4th of July, so we celebrated that. That was nice. As you see the clouds in the skies and whatnot. Not great weather for drying hay. Those of us on the hay crew are getting just a little bit antsy, but we're gonna wait. So waiting to have a little potluck dinner tonight with some family and friends. Got about an hour, and there's something that I wanted to do. And we're gonna take this Hemingway zebra, and we are going to put it to a very strange ranch test. You see over here, we've got pallets of salt and mineral. Salt and mineral have to be given to your cattle as a supplement because some of the grasses lack some of the nutrition you need. Just like a human needs to kind of follow the food pyramid and sort of make sure you're getting the right, vitamins and minerals. You need to do the same for cattle to have them have optimal health, okay? So every so often, we got to take these bags out and put in a tub so the cows can have their supplements. Now, those bags are about 50 pounds a piece. The Hemingway Zebra's got a pretty solid cargo rack on the back. So we should be well within the limits to put a couple of bags on the back. But when they make these e-bikes, I don't think they're typically designed for ranchers. But they've sent the bike. And so we're going to use the bike to do ranch things. We always put these salt troughs in very different places. So to be able to, put a few bags on as you go check one part of the place is great, rather than having to put them all in the back of a pickup and drive your pickup and run grass over out in the pastures. We're just gonna single track it on the old zebra here. Oh, baby. All right, we're gonna just start with 2 bags. The field that the cattle are in right now just has room for 2 bags. So there's just one trough up there because they're in a small, tight breeding pasture. So we kind of take them, 2 bags every couple days. We're gonna run this up. I'm gonna start with this. I've had kids and stuff riding on the back of here, so it should handle this just fine, but it just feels really heavy. It feels different than having a person on the back. So we're gonna start with 2. It's a rough road going out, and see how she does. Hey there, look at that. I think that cow likes the bike. Maybe your cows will too. So, that was a wild ride out here. as you may have noticed. I would say my biggest beef was the cargo securement. One bungee strap, fine on the road. Once we got off road and we're going overland, not even close to remote, which is a little embarrassing for a trucker to think that I could get away with one bungee strap. Didn't really have much other stuff last second, you know, at my disposal. I would definitely want to get a ratchet strap on. They kept wanting to slide off either side. So either make a little platform that goes on there that's a little more of a square so they can kind of sit on there without kind of boiling over the sides. Because once they kind of get off center going over the side, then they just slump over. And I don't think that the engineers probably had in mind for me to be hauling salt and mineral with it, but it totally did it. The hill that we climbed to get up to this pasture is pretty steep. I had a couple little spots where I had to kind of zigzag, you know, kind of do the switchback deal to let the bike get a little more momentum. Went, of course, all electricity to get up here. A little more side-to-side momentum, so it wasn't just charging straight up the 300 and whatever, high 300s for the poundage. Quite a bit. Looks like the whole herd's coming over. This is one of the downsides to only having one. Normally they have access to more pasture, but this is the only feeder we have up here, so they're gonna have to graciously take turns and get around. But anyway, it's kind of fun. Put her to the test, why not? Well, there he goes, off to record his next hit single, Raking on the Ranch. Oh, I got Freddie going out there. Came out this morning. 4th of July was great. Let me make sure this is, oh yeah, we're good. 4th of July was great. Had a lot of fun, a lot of family, good friends around. Shared some camaraderie. Big skies out there again. We're probably gonna wrap this up pretty quick, move on to the next deal, but we're back to the haying. We've got Freddie going on the rake. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's going on the rake good, and we're gonna have a lot of good bales. So I've got my work cut out for me because we had 2 days that were like in the middle 50s to 60 degrees was all. Cloudy, totally overcast, which was the 4th of July. Never seen a 4th of July where people were wearing winter coats in the morning, standing out waiting for the parade to start. But things are well in hand. I'll give you another update later on as we kind of wrap up the baling, but put up about 150 bales so far, which is essentially half of the entirety of last year. And I mean, we're not even, like the next 2-3 days, I've got so much baling to do that I mean, we'll be to 600 bales lickety split. But anyway, y'all, hope you enjoyed all that. These little e-bikes are pretty handy for getting around in this situation. I've been using it to drive out here to the field, so I've been using it to buzz back and forth, you know, gotta run home and grab. You're always like, you're kind of back and forth between, you know, areas, places. Like the field out here is 1.5 miles away from the ranch yard. The ranch is, you know, 1 mile away from the house or whatever. You're always just bopping back and forth. And I never would have thought to use something like that. But it's really handy and just smooth and quiet and easy, and as you saw, has a fair bit of cargo capacity. I try not to, as I've mentioned before, you get product offers and stuff, and a lot of things they just really don't. You're like, no. I just kind of thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to see if it can incorporate. I'm all for trying to make things, you know, more cheap and efficient, and not having to fire up my pickup and run back and forth and putt around. You know, it's kind of nice to save miles and wear and tear on the back and forth of the pickup. Bike is low maintenance. I mean, there's not much to a bicycle. So anyway, check that out if you're so inclined. Kind of hook you up with the deal there. And until next time, we'll just keep on rocking in the free world.